It's a perfect summer afternoon. You've set the table outside, the grill is warm, there's cake, there are cold drinks, and then they arrive. Not one, not two, a dozen of them. Yellowjackets, crawling across the rim of your glass before you can even take a sip, circling the potato salad like they own it, landing on the back of your hand with that slow, deliberate confidence that makes your skin crawl. You wave them off, they come back, you cover the cake, they find the gap, you try to eat fast, they're faster. This isn't enjoyment anymore, it's a battle of nerves and they are winning. Every person at the table has gone tense, the kids are flinching, someone knocks over their drink, someone else just gives up and goes inside. This is supposed to be a relaxing afternoon and these small, striped, relentless insects have completely hijacked it. And then, something changes. A different sound cuts through the garden, deeper, slower, almost like a tiny engine idling somewhere above the flower beds. And then you see it, hovering just at the edge of the garden, moving with an unhurried, deliberate calm. It's massive, tiger-striped, the size of your thumb, a hornet, and every muscle in your body tightens, because you've heard the stories. 3 stings can kill a human, 7 can kill a horse. A single nest in your yard is a disaster waiting to happen. Your hand is already reaching for the spray bottle. You're already mentally calculating how to deal with that paper grey structure hanging inside your garden shed or tucked away in the old hollow apple tree before things get worse. Stop, put the bottle down. Because what is actually happening in that nest, right now, above your head, is one of the most elegant and quietly powerful pest control systems your garden has ever had. And once you understand it, you will never look at that nest the same way again. Let's start with what a hornet actually is, because most people have never stopped to separate the myth from the biology. The insect you just saw is the European hornet, Vespa crabro. While native to Europe, it found its way to North America over a century ago and has been living alongside humans for generations, establishing itself firmly across orchards, woodlands, and backyards. It builds its papery nests in hollow trees, wall cavities, and roof overhangs. It raises its young in layered combs. It organizes itself around a single queen. In all of that, yes, it superficially resembles its smaller, more irritating cousin, the common yellow jacket. But the resemblance ends there. Think about that yellow jacket ruining your barbecue. Aggressive, persistent, opportunistic. It wants your sugar, your meat, your drink. It has no problem landing on your food, crawling into your can, and stinging you the moment it feels cornered. Yellow jackets are scavengers built for confrontation with the human world. The hornet is something else entirely. Outside its nest, a hornet is one of the most non-confrontational insects in your garden. It is not interested in your cake. It is not interested in your lemonade. It does not patrol picnic tables or hover aggressively around outdoor meals. When a hornet flies through your garden, it is working, and its work has nothing to do with you. Hornets are apex predators. They are the lions of the insect world. And like lions, they are not aggressive without cause. They will not sting you because you walked past them. They will not chase you across the lawn. The only time a hornet becomes genuinely dangerous is when you directly threaten the nest, and that is true of almost every social insect on Earth, including honeybees. Now, the venom. This is where the myths really fall apart. The sting of a European hornet is, gram for gram, actually less toxic than the sting of a common honeybee. The reason hornet stings feel more intense is purely mechanical. A hornet is bigger, and it delivers a larger volume of venom. But the idea that 3 stings can kill a healthy adult human? That is folklore, not biology. Severe reactions are possible, as with any insect sting, but they are the result of individual allergy, not some extraordinary lethality unique to hornets. The most feared insect in the average backyard is, in terms of venom toxicity, less dangerous than the bee you barely notice on the lavender. Now let's talk about what a hornet is actually doing when it flies through your garden, because this is where the story gets extraordinary. A hornet on patrol is not wandering, it is hunting, and it is hunting with a level of tactical precision that, if you could watch it in slow motion, looks less like an insect foraging and more like a guided missile acquiring a target. The hornet's compound eyes give it a near panoramic field of view. Its antennae are picking up chemical signals from the air around it. It is processing movement, size, and flight pattern in real time. And what it is looking for, specifically, preferentially, almost exclusively, are other insects, flies, caterpillars, And most relevantly for your barbecue, yellowjackets. When a hornet spots a yellowjacket in flight, what happens next is almost too fast for the naked eye. The hornet adjusts its flight path in milliseconds. It accelerates, and then it intercepts, mid-air, with surgical precision, grabbing the yellowjacket and bringing it to a nearby surface in one fluid movement. What follows is a masterclass in biological efficiency. The hornet does not eat the yellowjacket whole. That would be wasteful. Instead, it works methodically, using its powerful mandibles to remove everything that is not nutritionally useful. The head goes, the wings go, those tough lightweight structures that serve no caloric purpose whatsoever. The legs go. What remains is the thorax, a dense, protein-rich package of muscle tissue. The hornet then chews this down, working it with its mandibles until it forms a compact ball, a concentrated pellet of pure nutrition. Think about that. This insect is not just a predator, it is a processing plant. It is butchering its prey in the field, discarding the waste, and packaging the remainder for transport. All within minutes, often while perched on a garden fence or a tree branch a few meters from where you're sitting. And it does this dozens of times a day, hundreds of times across the entire colony, every single day of the summer. Let's look at what is actually happening here in terms of scale. A mature hornet colony can contain several hundred workers. Each of those workers may make multiple hunting runs per day. The yellowjackets, the flies, the caterpillars, the aphids, they are being removed from your garden continuously, silently, at a rate that no spray bottle, no insect trap, and no chemical treatment could ever match. Here is the twist that most people never hear, and it is the detail that makes the whole system genuinely mind-blowing. Adult hornets cannot digest solid protein. Their wastes, that impossibly narrow connection between thorax and abdomen that gives wasps and hornets their characteristic silhouette, are so constricted that solid food simply cannot pass through. An adult hornet, for all its hunting prowess, cannot actually eat what it catches. So why is it hunting at all? It is hunting for its larvae. Inside the paper nest above your head, arranged in hexagonal cells within layered combs, are hundreds of hornet larvae. Soft, pale, helpless, and ravenously hungry. They are the colony's protein consumers. They are the reason every hunting flight happens. The adult worker carries that carefully prepared meatball back to the nest, locates a hungry larva, and delivers it directly. But here is where the evolutionary genius of this system reveals itself completely. The larvae do not simply receive food, they pay for it. When a worker delivers a protein package to a larva, the larva secretes a droplet of fluid in return, a concentrated solution of sugars and amino acids produced by the larva's own digestive processes. This secretion is essentially rocket fuel for the adult hornet. It is the high-energy liquid diet that powers the next hunting flight. The adult cannot get this nutrition anywhere else in sufficient quantity. The larvae are not just passengers in this system, they are active participants, running what amounts to an internal economy, protein in, energy out. This exchange, hunting adult feeds larva, larva fuels hunting adult, is a closed loop of almost elegant efficiency, and it scales dramatically. A mature hornet colony at peak summer can consume up to 0.5 kilogram of insects every single day. That is over a pound of living prey, thousands of individual insects, removed from the ecosystem around your garden in a 24-hour period. Let that settle for a moment. Over a pound of pests, gone. Every single day, yellowjackets, flies, moths, aphids, caterpillars, gone, processed, fed into the nest's internal economy, and converted into the next generation of the colony. The nest hanging under your eave is not a threat. It is a service, running continuously at no cost to you, powered entirely by the insects that were making your summer miserable. Next time you find yourself near a hornet's nest in late summer, look down at the ground beneath it. If you look carefully, you'll find a quiet archive. Thousands of tiny translucent wings scattered across the grass in a thin layer. Each one is a receipt for a service you didn't know you were getting. The wasps that would have ruined your next barbecue never made it to your table, because they were intercepted right here. But here is the best part. This whole setup is just a seasonal lease. By October, the old queen and her workers will die off, and the newly hatched queens will leave to hibernate deep inside old, rotting wood. Hornets never reuse an old nest. When November arrives, that layered paper globe will be completely empty, abandoned, and safely dead. Nature will naturally evict them for you, and they will never return to this exact spot next year. You just have to tolerate them for one single summer, knowing they did the heavy lifting to keep the pests in check so you could actually enjoy your backyard. So let's go back to that patio. The afternoon is warm, the drinks are cold, the cake is on the table, and somewhere above the garden there is a deep, slow, mechanical hum. A hornet returning to its nest with another delivery, another piece of the endless exchange between hunter and larvae that keeps your outdoor summer running the way it should. It is not an intruder, it never was. It is the reason the yellowjackets are fewer today than they were last week, and fewer last week than the week before. It is a silent, ancient, extraordinarily efficient system that has been running in our gardens for millions of years. Long before we built the patios, before we set out the cake, before we learned to be afraid of the hum. You don't need to love hornets, you don't need to go near the nest, you just need to leave it alone and let it do what it has always done. Have you ever had a hornet's nest near your property, or noticed the wasps suddenly disappearing when they were around? Tell me about your experience in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to understand another hidden builder in your yard, the next video is already waiting for you.